Good evening and welcome to Love Angels Light TV. Tonight we are welcoming back Leon from Quantum Healing Energies. Welcome back, Leon.
Great to be back, Eileen. It's been a long time, hasn't it? Since last year with everything that occurred. And the reason, I don't know if people know, the reason I wasn't there last year was because with the shutdown, everything was where I worked in the restaurant. There was two girls that actually left and went to Sydney, so we were short-staffed. So I said until she had some more staff, I said I'd work every Friday night. So that's what that was about. And now we're back to this year, new direction, and we're back again. So it's good to be here. Thank you very much.
It's been so long, I don't even know where to start.
Look, how do we answer a question like that? It's really interesting. As you know ourselves, we have no idea what we're going to talk about. And we're just discussing offline before we came on. You know, it's only in the last half an hour that everything, what I thought I would share tonight, came together. And I took a few notes too, so please excuse the audience. Please excuse me if I read a few notes for you. But what I was linking together this time was the linking of the Mayan calendar. We're just in the middle of that 260-day cycle where there are 10 portal days. And I'm going to read exactly what this time period's all about. So, pardon me for reading it to you. It says, contemplate the truth about ourselves and the world around us. Expect heightened energies, access to amplified awareness and sensory experience, greater opportunity or opportunities for information, exchange, and multidimensional insights. I'm just letting that sit, and I'll probably read it again for our audience. Contemplate the truth about ourselves and the world around us. Now, I'm going to pause on that because look what's happening at the moment. There are so many questions. What's truth at the moment? Where do we get our truth? What's our source of information? Are we trusting our intuition? Are we getting it from other sources? Where are those sources coming from? And at the moment, there's so much what you would call untruths, I suppose, and there's a lot of propaganda around. So this is why I think that particular statement, contemplate the truth about ourselves and the world around us. Expect heightened energies, which we're seeing in one respect because there are so much, people are getting quite frustrated, I think, in some respects with what's occurring. So the heightened energies, access to amplified awareness and sensory experience, greater opportunities for information. I'll pause on that. Information coming from different sources other than mainstream media. We're seeing at the moment there's a lot more information coming out of Rumble. There's a lot more on BitChute, which are alternative media outlets, and people are starting to see where those channels aren't being censored. So there's open communication in those channels. So if people are starting to look for those channels, and once again, you've got to ask for help in that, you'll start to see where you get to see different information. Now, I'm not saying you take it all as gospel. What it's about is you trusting your intuition that feels right for you.
That's right.
So for information exchange and multiple dimensional insights. The other thing I want to share with you too is that we're moving into, as of February, the Chinese New Year, which is the year of the tiger. It's the water tiger. So we've just come out of the year of the ox, which is slow, it's plodding, it's stirring up dirt. It's just, you know, if you've ever been on a farm, and I come off a farm, you know, it's like, and I don't remember the days of having, you know, an ox or a cow, but, you know, it was just plodding along, turning over the soil, bringing those things. So last year was a very slow year. This year, the tiger, what is the tiger about? Tiger is courage. The tiger is expansion. It's moving fast. If we look at the cats themselves, they call them about 7-9 lives. You know, they'll jump in, bang, go. They always seem to land on their feet. So the tiger very much this year is about broadening our horizons and having the courage to do so. So this is a really, really good time for us to be able to say, well, what do I want to experience? I know I always use the word experience as opposed to a goal, because what's been sitting deep within us that we'd like to do. And with a lot of the work that I've done with readings for people, a lot of people say, I don't know what I'm to do. They're frustrated with that, meaning they're not too sure what to do. And I've been saying to people, just sit with this for a while. But this is the year as we move forward. And also, I think it's Jupiter and Uranus also pop into this. And I know Trina talked about that last week, so I won't go over that information. But it's also in one of the things that came out today for me when I was doing a session with another lady was seek the truth, know the truth, feel the truth, and speak the truth. And in that part, there's a connection that you have to source, to spirit. And in that respect, we start to hear the truth. Now, in the fact of what's happening on the Mayan calendar, we're able to tune into that. But this is where, and I'm jumping all over the place here at the moment, but I think it's important. I had a session with a lady last week where I wanted to know more information about my star seed heritage. And before someone thinks, what's all that about? We have all come from different planetary systems or different star being systems, whether it's been the Pleiades, Orion, I can't even remember half the names anyway, but we've all come here as a soul to seed this planet Earth. Now, with that information, it gave me the ability to have a deeper understanding about some of the things I'm experiencing this lifetime. In other words, why do I keep on wanting to go back to Egypt? What's my connection to Christ consciousness? What's my connection to say, England? So, and also very much my connection to crystals. That was really, really interesting. Now, I don't need to go into what the answers were because I don't think that's fair. But there was a message that came through very, very, very clearly because I asked the lady at the end, I said, what is it that they want me to know? And she gave me 5 different answers. The one that I think is important for our audience is that they, spirit world, people who are here to support us, and I've always said before, we have to ask for help. These people want you to know, these energies want you to know that they respect you immensely for coming to this planet to do the work that you're doing on the planet right now. They see you as an equal. They don't see us as down there and them up there. And stop putting them up on a pedestal as if to say that, oh, that's where we want. No, they respect us immensely for taking on a human form into a human body to do the work that we're now doing for the benefit of the planet and the benefit of humanity. And for years, for centuries, we have been programmed through education, through media, through government, through all different sorts that we are not worthy, or that, what's the other words that can't come to mind at the moment, but that we have to seek other advice from other people, and instead of tuning into our own self, our own inner being, our own higher self. And the way I like this is that we have lived in a world that's very much about logic, the science, the education system, that if you actually from a logical point of view could regurgitate all that, I say it, the quote, the shit that we teach them, if you could regurgitate all that stuff, you play in the system and you get your A's and then the door opens for you. And science in some respects will say, well, no, you don't trust your intuition. But I like what this lady said to me. She said, logically, we think before we speak. Intuitively, we speak before we think.
Yeah.
And I really, really like that because I know in my work when I'm doing readings with people, I will say to them at the start, I have no idea what I'm going to say. And at the start or during it, I'll say something and I'm thinking, where the hell did that come from? That was an intuitive, it just came out. And then 5 minutes later, they'll say something and I go, oh, now I get it. It's our higher self speaking through us to help. And that happened to me today. Trina and I went down to have a coffee in town today. And there's 2 places we go to. So we drove past the first place, which is where we do our readings on a Saturday. We go to this an antique centre. There's a coffee shop there, and we always set up. We've been doing that consistently now on the Saturdays, except for when everything shut down. And there's a lot of group of us that we have met over the last probably 6 weeks. 6 months. These people that we have met, and there was another lady that we met who came to that particular spot, and we'd met her about 2 months ago. I'll come to that in a second. Anyway, we drove past. There was no one there, so we thought, we'll go to the other place that we go to in town, which make beautiful coffee. You sit outside, and there's an energy with the people who come there. This particular time, we're sitting there, and this lady walks past, and we end up having this incredible conversation. Now, she was the lady that wants to, or has actually put herself down to go into politics this year. She's in her 50s, early 50s, not something she anticipated that she would do, but she felt the calling to do that. And her whole party that she's joined is the choice to actually make a choice whether you have a vaccination or not. So it's your own free will to be able to do that. And what ended up happening, we were just sitting down chatting, and I shared some information with her in relation to her Mayan calendar galactic signature. As I'm reading it to her, it was so spot on. She just wanted to know more because it was everything that I read to her absolutely resonated. And that gave her the confidence and understanding that the direction she was taking in her life was the correct one. Now, on another level, was I working today? In terms of traditional working, no, I wasn't, because I didn't get paid. But from a soul's point of view, from a spirit's point of view, yes, I was working, because I ended up delivering, or my soul or me, in my physical form, delivered a message to this lady that needed to hear that gave her the absolute great confidence to continue doing what she's doing. And she said to me, I really needed to hear that today. And this is the thing that I think a lot of us lose sight of it. We've been brainwashed that unless we're sitting in an office or out working or creating something and getting paid for it, it's work.
That's right.
Not really. Are you and I working tonight? We're having fun and we're enjoying it. But at the same time, if we make a difference in someone's life, to me, that's our soul work that we're doing here. Because it's not hard. It's easy to do this. We both love it. Otherwise, we wouldn't do it.
True.
Yeah. So coming back to the year of the tiger, or the water tiger, it's having the ability to look at the bigger picture and the courage to do what it is in our heart that wants to call us forward. All right? But it's also the ability to bring like-minded people around us so that we don't just jump straight in. In other words, have wise counsel. Counsel from people who we respect, who might put a different perspective, and then we sit down and reflect on it. With the year of the tiger, abundant energy. If you've ever seen a tiger or even a cat when it's really going, there's lots of energy. They just go. So there's a drive, and I'm reading it from my notes. There's a drive and a willingness to expand beyond the world that we've already known. Because that's why we're here on this planet now, to bring in the new. And we can get caught up in the fear. We can get caught up in all the negativity. Or we can stay focused very clearly about what we feel that we should be doing or would like to do, because the energies are there to help us. So combine that with the element of water, the energies of growth are amplified, because we know when water moves, it's flowing.
That's right.
So here we step into what I call a leap of faith. And I've shared my story with people before, where the leap of faith for me was to leave teaching. And that was that courage of doing that without any ego in what I'm saying here was an incredible experience, because the next 10 years that I have experienced has taken me on a journey that I could never, ever have imagined. So what I'm saying to you is this is going to be a year of unpredictability, the unexpected, the unforeseen. So I'm going to see that in two ways. The unexpected, what we start to see coming out in alternative media, and even what our normal media might put out. That's going to be unexpected. Also, the connections we have with various people that walk into our life, synchronicity of events, like I described today. right? There's no monetary exchange in that in any shape or form. But what that was for that particular lady was so appropriate for her. And part of me thinks, well, if I can help you in some way, I will. Now, whether that comes to fruition or not, it doesn't matter. But this is again of surrendering to this next chapter. So the other thing I want to share with you is this. There's two parts of us. There's our human side and our soul side. Our soul loves adventure. Our soul doesn't want a boring, mundane life. It doesn't grow through that. 100%. You look at your life and you look at the times where you have grown the most. It's been when you're outside your comfort zone. It's where you have been in places that you really had no idea where it's going to go. And from my point of view, I have walked that path. So I can say that with conviction because that's the journey that I have walked. But your soul loves that because that knowledge, that information, that experience is what the soul is wanting. It doesn't want a boring life where we sit there and twiddle our thumbs. So this is a year of growth, of nurturing and nourishment. It's having the courage to step in, the courage to step forward and see where it goes. And if anyone wants to make any comments in the chat, feel free to do that, please, because then I can respond to that if we choose to.
That's a lot of information.
That's just the introduction, yeah.
Yeah.
Any thoughts yourself as you were hearing that? Because I know you're writing very nicely there. Or anything you want to, or anything you want to pick me up on, or challenge, or elaborate on?
No challenge.
Not challenge, right? Okay, elaborate on.
The two things that really stood out there. Logically, we think before we speak. Intuitively, we speak before we think.
Yes,
love that, and
too.
it's so true.
Yep.
And then the soul loves adventure.
Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah. And it does. And this is the thing. You look at your life. You look at where those most adventurous, and there's a fine line between, I'm flipping it here, there's a fine line between what the quote unquote, the devil pushes you down a path, but they also the courage that comes from your heart, where your heart is calling you to go. You know, the example that I've very clearly given before is where three major experiences of my life. The house that I was in, the lease was up. The contract that I had for the program for unemployed disengaged youth had suddenly come to an end. And a relationship that I was in came to an end. Three things. I asked Spirit, my higher self, what's all this about? All of a sudden, the thought just popped straight into my head. I can go to Scotland, my ancestral family. Within a month, I was in Scotland. Now that takes, if I may say, that takes a bit of courage to just literally pack up and go for 6 months and not know where you're going to go except the first couple of nights, and then trust that you'll be guided where you go. And then 3 months later, realise I can go to Europe and do all the things I've always wanted to do in Europe, including walking the Camino and going to Turkey to see to connect to Rumi. You know, and this is the adventure that I love. And I'm going to actually add another piece to this, to what I was listening to today. So there's a lady called Pam Gregory. She's an astrologer who I follow quite solidly. She really is very, very solid in terms of the work. And she had a video up today where she was talking to one of her girlfriends about a past life experience that she'd had. And I don't know why I listened to it, but by God, it made sense. What had happened, cut a long story short, she'd bought a property. Sorry, Pam is an English lady. Her mother had passed on. This is a number of years ago. We're probably talking 10 years ago now, if not longer. And her mother gave her, through her inheritance, some money, and she'd always wanted to buy a property in the south of France, around an area called Carcassonne, which I've actually been to. This is why it was so important, me listening to what she was sharing. And when she went there, that was the last property on this estate that she was able to buy. But she went on to explain that it was so many problems she had with it. first 2 years were okay, and then the next 7 years was just hell, for want of a better word. Her girlfriend came across. She asked her to come across, spent some time with her, but her girlfriend is very much a medium and can see. And what she saw was all these people in spirit following Pam. Now, what happened is Pam was able to go back. She went back to the Cathars and the Knights Templars, but particularly the Cathars, where they actually got wiped out by the Catholic Church because of where they are at. Now, why is that important for me? It's because I spent a lot of time when I was in the south of France to all those particular places she talked about. And I know from my experience that I had an experience or a number of experiences there that connected to that. Now, it's not about ego about that, I've had this. No, it's not. It's what your soul experiences has been. And you start to put bits and pieces together, and then you understand why someone might say to you one day, which they said, you're a Knights Templar because you always look after the women when you're on trips. And when someone else says it to you one day, I said, good to see you again, Knights Templar. You start to pull these little pieces together about why you're here on this planet right now. So I hope that helps some people to take the time out to reflect on their own life, to reflect on why they feel, say, drawn to, like in my case, to Egypt, or why they're drawn to go to, say, South America, to be in Peru, or, all these different things, or why you're drawn to go to China. All those things are signs that your soul is calling you in a direction for where you to go.
That's right.
Yeah.
And you need to listen to those little feelings.
Well, they'll keep on nagging at you until you do. Otherwise, something big will happen to actually force you to actually make that move. That's the way your soul works. I've said that to you before. Now, any questions, or we'll move on to the next little topic?
I did like this particular comment from Tony.
Yes. And Tony, if I will actually add to that, please, the thing that this lady said to me when I did the work is making sure you know who the medium is speaking through you. That was really, really important to me. And I did a process that we went through to actually experience that. Because I know there's a team working through me or behind the scenes. Because I said to her, I don't know quite who they are. I think I do, but I'm not 100% sure. So she was helping me to actually help identify those people, and then listening to or feeling within my body the different responses I got in my body to know that might be it might be Mother Mary or Mary Magdalene working through me, or it might be Rumi working through me, or it could be the consciousness of, when I'm talking about this, I'm talking about the consciousness of that person, the consciousness of, say, Jesus working through me from a healing point of view. That was what she taught, which I think was invaluable. So, I'll share that with you. Hope that helped, Tony.
That's awesome.
Okay.
I love this. And the whole thing with this is it reminds me of a quote from Oprah, of all the people, Oprah, right? Where she said one day, because I spent about 5 years on a couch with the workers' comp injury. And I didn't spend all 5 years on the couch, just so you know. But I was watching Oprah one day, and she said, when the universe wants you to get a message, it'll start by throwing some pebbles at you. And if you don't listen to that, then you'll get some bricks. And if you don't get that, you'll get some rocks. And then if you still don't get it, you'll get the whole damn brick wall. It'll just all be thrown at you. And so the universe will keep niggling at you until you get the message.
I have this. It's called the feather. And you think, go away. And it keeps at you. Then you get the brick. You think, shit. And then finally, if you don't, you get the truck. It smacks everything. Yeah. So same analogy. I called it the three: the feather, the brick, the truck.
Yeah.
And it's seriously, it will hit. And if you've ever had the truck, you think, why? Because the message is there. But that's your soul trying to get your attention to take you on the path that you designed, that you arranged before you incarnated in this lifetime. Yeah.
I love it.
We go with our cards now?
Yes.
Okay. I drew 5 cards tonight, as an overview for people. As you know, we do this often now, is just to try and get an overview of what's occurring and where things are happening. And again, I like the cards that came out. The first one is an emotional card, comes from our heart. It's called discontent and boredom. Don't get too caught up in the words. I don't ever like getting caught up in the words. I like to actually look at the pictures. This is how I was trained. Look at the pictures, look at the numbers, look at the symbols. It's here. So here is a person that has turned their back away from the light. Now, because of the way the picture is there, that you can't see the light properly, you just see a great big window, but we'll talk about that in a second. So here's a person dressed in all the spiritual colours. So this person has all the wisdom, all the knowledge that this person has and needs, but he's turned his back on the light. And if you'll notice that there's a lovely blue coming through from the top of that pillar right through his head here. So in that context, he's not speaking what it is that he wants and also asking for help and assistance. Because in his right hand, you'll notice the right hand is a greyish colour. So right hand is the physical world, it's the manifest, it's the masculine, it's the creation hand that we use. And underneath that is the red. Red is the passion. It's what drives us. It's our base chakra stuff. So this person really, with that pillar being the present moment, is still in the past. He's looking into the past and he's not turning around and seeing the light, which we see all the colours of the chakra system there, because this person's up on a platform, up on a higher level. So he's not seeing the perspective of life from the higher perspective. And if we look at what's happening on the planet at the moment, it's seeing everything from a much higher perspective, because the mainstream media will give you a perspective, but there's a much, much bigger perspective playing on here than just what we're seeing here. So for him, this person, because the number is 4, the 4 is structure. So if we're actually looking at what we were just talking about, the year of the tiger, it's turning around and looking out to your future. Now, this picture, because you can't really see it very well, is like a blurred colour. It's not very clear, but it's green. The green is about nurturing. It's about growth. And there are 2 castles there. They're joined together. To me, I always see that there are opportunities for you. And you'll notice that there's a brown track. If you actually move your card just a little, I'm trying to, where am I? I don't know if people can see that better.
What are you trying to see?
I'm trying to show you, whoops, where am I? I'm trying to show you this bit here. And what you'll see there is that there's at the back, it's the 2, like a castle, and it's white and it's blue. So the white represents what's the truth for you, and the blue is what are you communicating. And there's a path there that takes you in direction. So what it is about turning it around and looking towards the future, and then trusting everything that you've got, because Spirit is supporting you to put the structure in place to move forward. That's what I see in that particular card.
Awesome.
The next one, which again ties in with this is a mental card. Number 8 is about abundance and power. This person here he's created this for himself. You'll notice how there's like a glass ceiling on top. And the glass ceiling, if we want to respect, is stopping the person from moving forward. You'll notice that his feet, which are not moving, is at a crossroads. There's an actual cross in the path on the actual, like a concrete path there. And his head and his heart is all down. So in other words, what he's done, he's giving his power away here. He's not turning around and looking towards the light, which is what you've got really shining brightly on your card, which is the yellow. The yellow is the enlightenment that is getting from that. So this person is to be able to get out of fear and then go, well, okay, what's the bigger picture of this for me? What am I to learn from this? And come from love, from the heart. Now, because this person is in this negative state, you can't actually see there's some options. So here it is, open up to be able to move yourself forward here in that regard. So that's a brief one on that one. So, and also with 8, I always call it power, abundance, and influence. So this person in this situation really hasn't having any influence in the world because they're trapped in fear. And in one respect, we're seeing that a lot on the planet at the moment, where so many people are really trapped in fear and allowing the media to really do a really good job on them at the moment. Now, the middle card that we got was our first major arcana card, which is the Destiny card. I love when this card comes along because it's the halfway point of the major arcanas. So here in my language, 1 is a new beginning and 0 is infinite possibilities. And what we see here is that the picture of these ladies represents to me is the different aspects of their life that they've already lived, the different cycles within their soul. It's like playing a computer game. You play a computer game, it struggles for a while, then it all comes together and it goes click, 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 and then boom, next level. So this is saying to me that you're now starting to move into the next chapter of your life, which is a really important one from your soul's perspective. And we also see this beautiful light. We see the woman here with her hand on her heart. So she's really tuning into her heart. We also see the flower of life pattern underneath that there. So from a sacred geometry point of view, that's a really, really nice message. And also the pinkish, which again represents coming from your heart. And the lady in this picture is wearing green. Green, again, is nurturing. Green is new growth. Green is all about heart. Next card, please. This card, mental card. First of all, I want you to see the number 9. 9 is the end of a cycle. Now, even though the word says suffering in silence, this person has come to the top of a summit. You'll notice that there's little steps along the way as has come to this top. This person is on their knees, but they're actually stepping right up and they're looking out. In their staff, the staff is in their left hand, which is the spiritual side and also the feminine side, but it's the spiritual information and knowledge that they got from the journey that they have walked or taken to get to that particular point. This person is grounded in one respect, but look at the picture there. There are two mountains. There's one behind her metaphorically, and there's one in front. And let's look at the colors. The colors are the orange and the yellow, which to me relates to the second and third chakras. What do you want to manifest? And yes, you have the ability to manifest that. So the manifestation is that warrior spirit, W-A-R-R-I-O-R, who obeys your command from your voice that connects to your heart. So those three go hand in hand. So we're looking out there. We see a little bit of blue there. So there's a little bit of communication about what we want or what she wants. But here we see the sun coming up. So the sun to me is life. The sun is the rising. It's like it rises in the east, the new day, a new beginning. So which way do we look? Do we look towards the future or are we going to stay in the past? So it's the same thing when we look at that first card, which was, the person was looking into the past and then we're trapped in fear. When we look at those two cards linked with this, it's about letting go of the past and embracing the future. And the last card, next major arcana card, which I love here, is looking at the word here. This is what you're letting go of. We know when there's raining and there's a storm, it's washing away everything. The storm has this ability to cleanse everything. So here's this woman that's coming out of the murkiness. She's wearing white representing the truth, the purity of who she is. She's been supported by spirit, seeing the colors of the rainbow there. And you'll notice the flowers in the sky. Again, white and blue. The white is the truth of who she is. She's also reflecting. You'll notice that she's reflecting her eyes, if you can really see it. Her eyes are reflecting back onto the right-hand side. So in terms of the right-hand side, what is she reflecting on about what her future is? We've already shared about that for this particular year, where we're going with our life. And this is a woman that is comfortable who she is by the way she has dressed. Black of her hair, black representing the mystery of the future, and it's right off her face, so she's not hiding from anything. But what she's doing is letting go of the past that is no longer needed in her life. And on a much, much bigger scale, this is what we've been called to on our planet at the moment, is what old systems have we had in place that no longer serves us or no longer needs us. Now, we're not going to see all of that emerge in 1 year. But, I know we're 2022, and hopefully we'll end up having a conversation by the time we get to 2032, and we'll look back at this time and think, wow, what a journey we've been. And there's massive transformation that's occurring. And we're going to see that transformation occur over a long period of time. And there's so much technology that's coming to the planet, so many new things that are coming. So to me, this is a very symbolic card of letting go of the past, letting go which no longer needs us, letting go of old belief systems that we've had that have held us captive, to embrace the new. That's my reason for all those cards.
Yeah.
Just letting that sit for a second.
It's so easy to be in the fear and in the emotions.
Yeah.
I've been doing a lot of talks on that this week.
And again, it depends, and I say this nicely with respect, it depends where we get our information from.
That's exactly right.
If you keep feeding yourself and tuning in, as I've said before, turn the bloody TV off. Stop looking at that, because that's what they're designed to do. I won't get into too much, but, who's paying their bills? Who's paying the money for them to put out that stuff? I'll just put the question there and let that sit with you. But we're going to see a lot more change of that in the coming year. Bit by bit, that will be revealed. And it won't be about a point of saying, oh, we told you so. It's more of a question of saying, the awareness. And then when you have that awareness, is then to go, well, what do I do with that now to take my life forward?
Yeah.
But I'll leave that. That's enough on that topic. Any comments before we move to the next bit?
Nirma's new. Nirma, we don't do, when Leon and Terenia are on from Quantum Healing Energies, we don't do individual readings.
No.
We've just done a group reading for 5 cards. So if you come back and watch the replay, you'll be able to see what that was all about. Other than that, where are we up to?
Oh, okay. Well, I drew a card tonight, as you know I do, for Rumi.
Mm-hmm. I love Rumi.
You love Rumi.
Resplendent with grace.
And we'll see the picture of this person being held up.
Yeah.
We've got a beautiful, I call it spirit or portal from above, and the colours of red and blue. And it's interesting, I only pulled this card 10 minutes before we started. And when I read it, or read the bits and pieces of it, I thought, wow, doesn't this tie in so nicely with what I'd already planned to share with you? So I'll read this slowly. And what I will do is I read this. The other thing is too, before we start, because once I finish this, I'm going to go straight in to do the sound. For those that have got a crystal, if you've got a tiger eye crystal, please pick it up. The reason I said tiger eye, I actually even found I picked up my mala beads, which are all tiger's eye, which is about courage. It's about courage as we move forward. It's also about our personal confidence, creativity. It's all those yellows and oranges and blacks. Tiger's eye is a beautiful crystal. So if you've got one of those, hold on to that during the course of the sound session that I will do. So, resplendent with grace. For those that have been before, what I do is I read the poem of Rumi. The next section I read is the channeling of what Rumi said about that particular card. Then I go to where my eyes are and I read that. Now, slight variation on what I've done. What I'm going to do, normally when I finish, I'll go to the sacred honouring ritual. But what I'm going to do this.
Hopefully he comes back. We've lost you, Leon. Well, you've frozen. I'm still here, guys. But my sound session isn't anything close to what Leon does. Ah, he bounced out. Hopefully he'll come back in a second, which is what happens on occasion. Technology gremlins. Oh, Susan, you're amazing. Here we go.
As soon as I saw that you disappeared, so I didn't. Nothing else was shared. I just stopped.
Oh, awesome. No, I went full screen because you're going to do the roomy reading and then sound. So I'll go head off screen.
Okay. Well, I'll wait till you've gone off screen so I can see that it's still going, and then I'll move. Yeah,
so
that's what happened. You did that, and then all of a sudden it just dropped out.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So for those people, what I was saying is I'm going to read the sacred honoring ritual. Also, wish when I read that, I'd like you, if you're okay with that, is to make that your intention for what the healing's about, and you'll get it when I read it. You'll understand what I mean by that. So here we go. First of all I want you to do is make sure you ground yourself, meaning put your feet firmly on the ground and really feel the roots of your feet going deep into Mother Earth, supporting you, and at the same time feel that energy above your head. We can actually use that picture, that golden light like a portal coming down through your body, down through your heart, down into Mother Earth. Greetings from my heart to you who are always with me. Hidden inside is the heart. You are the compass of my life. My course is your way, no matter where I go. You exist everywhere and in everything, always watching over us. My soul brightens in the darkness when I speak your name. Far beyond the body, there is an opening from my heart into yours. Through that opening, I send you secret messages like the moonlight. I polish the mirror of my heart to be your reflection. I make my ear the receiver for the tenderness of your words. You are in the ear. You are in the mind. You are in every burning heart. What am I saying? You are I. This is my way to describe you. Your divine grace clothes me in robes of sky blue and blood red, as a shimmering galaxy of compassion within the field of which no being is excluded. The darkness of night is illuminated, and all creatures are bathed in a fine golden hue of your presence. There is only beauty beheld now, for there is nothing that is not of your artistry, of your divine hand, generous with its grace. It is difficult to see your magnificent. Is it difficult to see your magnificent? Without a mirror the size of the galaxy, how could you possibly witness all that you are? You must just catch glimpses of your truth now and then. Oh, if you could see yourself as I see you in all your glorious fullness of being. You are swatched with robes of grace, so light and freeing that they do not weigh you down, and yet so luscious and full that you cannot help but stir the movement of all of creation as you step this way and that. This oracle comes to you with a message. You may be wondering if you can attain the next stage of growth in your life. You are already well equipped to do so, no matter what you might believe about the situation, circumstances, or others involved, even yourself. You have within your soul possession more than enough grace to see you through everything you are bold enough to envisage for yourself, and for any vision you feel life has bestowed upon you. So pray, through unconditional love, to accept all that you are, to be supported by beings that love you without condition. Pray to realize that you are so drenched in sacred grace that the well of your being is full. All that is needed to nurture you onto the next step of your life path is within you now. Success is yours, but you must believe in your ability, your readiness, and your capacity to take this next phase of the journey now. How could it be otherwise? For you are one with grace. So the honoring ritual, sacred honoring ritual that I would like you to tune into as I play the music is as follows. Place your hands on your heart. Visualize, sense, intend, or feel that you are being bathed in a golden light. It may rise up from the earth or descend from above you. But all around you is golden light. It is before you, behind you, on either side of you, above you, and below you, creating a field of golden energy all around you. It may be soft, it may crackle with electricity. Just be with it, whatever it is. Whether you can feel it clearly or not, seem to be able to imagine anything at all. No matter what appears to happen or not happen, it is just perfect for you at this time. Allow yourself to connect to that golden light during the course of the sound. And I say on behalf of all those present tonight, sacred honouring ritual of Rumi's. Rumi, brother of my soul who loves me without condition.
Something's happened to your microphone. I don't know. You can't hear me? I can't hear you. Apparently your microphone isn't connected. Oop. He's going to come out and go back in again, or the other way around. There we go.
Yeah.
Yes, much better.
Did you hear the last ritual?
I think we heard like the first little bit, and then it went. Okay. You don't need to hear this right now.
I'll read it again for you. It's not long. I think it's very appropriate. As we tune into our own heart. Rumi, brother of my soul who loves me without condition. Bless me with confidence, trust, and wisdom. I need to take my next steps and accept the grace already bestowed upon me in abundance that will continue to be so given as I grow. May I believe in myself just as you believe in me. Your mercy and unconditional love, so be it.
Possibly.
Welcome back, everybody.
Thank you. Amazing. I loved You Are One with Grace. I also loved Confidence, Grace, and Wisdom.
As in the last prayer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Isn't it interesting, though, you know, we spoke about at the start, and when you contemplate everything that we said about the Mayan calendar, about the Year of the Tiger, and about what Rumi's card, the whole three all match perfectly together, which is the courage to move forward.
That's right.
You know, and even the, you know, the tiger's eye crystal. Yeah, beautiful. You're like someone I know. Yeah.
I closed my eyes when you started that and just saw the infinity sign, which I then drew with my eyes shut, as you do. And then around it, we've got Your One with Grace, which was in the first part that you read. You also said success. You also said belief in self. Yes. So then after that, we got Release Doubt and Fear. I wrote down Confidence, Grace, and Wisdom. Confidence came later. It's going up here. But this one, you are the universe. You are the universe. Absolutely. And the universe is you. Like, correct. This is the magnitude of it.
Yeah.
And trust. Trust that the universe
thing is, but it's also trusting yourself.
Yes.
You've got to trust that you are at the right place at the right time. You're consciously aware that everything is unfolding as it should. It's the analogy I always use. It's a piece of fruit on a tree. You don't pick it too early. You don't pick it too late. You pick it when it's ripe. And timing is everything. And for some souls, old souls that have been here, you've been here for thousands and thousands of lifetimes here, thousands of lifetimes. You've been here many, many lifetimes, but for over many years to be here at this particular time for your work on this planet now. I mean, we could talk about many different things on this level, but it is people to understand that. And when you understand that, and I mean really understand it, not just an intellectual thing, but something that you understand deep within your heart, that you, and we're all special, but understanding that you chose to be here. You were the ones that from the star systems were chosen to come here with your knowledge, your wisdom, and your ability to go on this mission, to be here for this period of time, which the Mayans talked about a long time ago, to be here. And the ancient civilizations talk about this. The elders talked about this time. You chose to be here. It's now your time to step up and do what you're starting. Stop allowing your negativity or your disbelief in who you are. And that was the message that those beings gave to me when I did that reading. Stop putting them up on a pedestal and putting yourself down here. They respect you because you chose to lower your frequency to have a human body to experience what you're experiencing.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Tony felt a lot of things.
Lovely. Yeah. Thank you, Tony. I have no idea what I'm going to play. It just comes out the way it comes out. And I love the way that occurs. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is the beauty of what you do.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for tonight.
It's a pleasure.
It's always an interesting night. Well, what do you know? Oh, you got one of those ones.
This is the Sacred Rebel. I love this deck of cards. It came to me. I thought I was only buying one deck, but I ended up buying two decks, one for Terenia and one for me. And to me, this whole picture summarizes our ancestral lineage, the other beings and the light beings that are supporting us in this journey. And the card that I pulled just then is this. I know it's a bit of a lady swimming in the water, but it's called Against the Grain.
Yeah.
And what this is, that we are all being called in one respect to go against the flow of what is being portrayed, of what's been put out there, to go against the grain of all the propaganda stuff, to stand in our own personal power and have our own being of who we are. Like that picture, stripped bare of any beliefs or whatever, and is this true, authentic self of who they are. And I will guarantee you that when you step into that and feel it, you'll get challenged. You'll get challenged by your family. You'll get challenged by your peers. You'll get challenged by them. But once you step into your own power and you know who you are, they will back off. Yeah. And that's where we let go of relationships that need to be let go of, because then new ones come in that support you and where you're at. And that's the challenge that we are facing right now. Exactly. That came out of left field, but I thought I'd share that deck of cards with you. So,
love it.
Okay.
Awesome.
Okay. Any final comments, thoughts, feelings, emotions, anything?
I get to float now out to the other room and see what my husband's doing.
Brings you back down to earth gently.
A little bit.
Yeah, that's all right. Yeah, cool. No, thank you. As always,
thank you.
It's a lovely feeling. It's a lovely experience, and whatever it is, it is. So, thank you for tonight. It's nice to be back, and we'll do it again We'll do it again next month.
That would be amazing.
And
thank you so much to you. I love that.
I'm just going to put that up one more time.
Resplendent with grace. That's amazing.
Yeah. And notice the
thank you to everyone
gold
who joined us as well.
Go. Yeah, you're on.
Thank you to everyone.
Stopping.
Oh, no, that's okay. Now we're just going to interrupt each other and cut the conversation down to half the time. Thank you to everyone for being here tonight. Thank you so much, Leon, for your insight and your sound and everything that you bring every single month. Very much appreciated.
It's a pleasure. You know, I enjoy it. That's why we do it. And if we affected one person in one way, it's been well worth every bit of the time that we spent. So for those people that were tuned in, I hope you got something from it, even if it's just one little piece of wisdom that you can apply in your life that changes your life. That's what it's all about. So take care, look after yourselves, go gently with yourself. Don't beat yourself up. And as I've often said, keep drinking plenty of water, but also stay in what I call the center of the storm, right? Be centered, watch and observe without judgment, and allow the storm around you to evolve, because you keep going, but you're centered because you know who you are. So cheers. Best of luck to everyone. Thank you, Tony.
All right, guys. Have a lovely weekend. Enjoy. Do something fun. Love yourselves just a little bit more. And I will see you on Monday for Monday Motivation. All right.
Beautiful.
Bye, guys. Thank you.
Take care, everyone. Bye.